some action.
What a Sunday it is here in Niagara as the River Lions hosted a fan fest outside of the arena prior to tip-off. The CEBL brings you 3 games this afternoon, and it all starts here with the River Lions hosting the Montreal Alliance. Welcome inside the Meridian Centre, everybody. Niagara did one heck of a job on Friday night, clawing back from an early 24-point deficit to take down the league's best Scarborough Shooting Stars, and now they look to join the group in the middle of the Eastern Conference standings. One of those teams, the Montreal Alliance, also coming off a Friday night victory, a narrow one over the Brampton Honey Badgers. So someone's win streak will continue here this afternoon to get you set. Let's send it over to Sean Woodley, and a warm welcome back to the broadcast booth for Jason Tom. Fellas.
Thanks, JJ. All the games matter now. Hey, folks, welcome inside Meridian Centre as we got some afternoon hoops. River Lions against the Montreal Alliance, and the River Lions coming off a big win Friday, as JJ mentioned, with eyes on the final playoff spot in the East. It's been a weird season for the River Lions. Not a very good start. There was basically a full roster turnover, or at least half the roster turned over last week, but they come in with a really inspired win against Scarborough on Friday. Can that be the kind of win that pushes them down the stretch here to maybe make a play for one of those final playoff spots, Jason?
It absolutely has to be. The River Lions have not had momentum on their side this season at all. In games, they've struggled to grab it, and then generally in the season, they just haven't had it on their side. I think they have the right crew now, and it was a lot of fun here on Friday night. They're looking to have it here on Sunday afternoon as well.
It's going to be a lot of fun here this afternoon as well. Jason, it's thrilled to have you back on the call, man. It's been years. Let's take a look at the matchup stats for these teams coming into today's game. 8-9, the Montreal Alliance, and the 6-10 River Lions. What stands out to you?
I mean, the biggest thing is these are two different teams that have to get on the winning side. They're low-scoring teams. They try to make it on the defensive side, but with some new faces, especially for the River Lions right now, everybody is slotting into their positions to make this last run down the stretch in towards the playoffs.
Let's take a look now at the keys to the game presented by CDIC for tonight's or this afternoon's matchup. What do you got here for the visiting Montreal Alliance, Jason?
You know, the Alliance got to be dogs. They have to defend the perimeter. They allowed Ottawa to shoot 21-39 from 3 in a 27-point loss, but then they held Brampton to just 6-26 from 3 in the win. That is a big difference between winning and losing for this team. They got to know their opponent's personnel. Like I said, new faces here for Niagara. Who are they? Where are you going under screens? When are you switching? And you got a guard without fouling. We know that Jermaine Small goes very short on his bench, and he's undermanned here today, so you got to keep your players in the game.
And the keys for the home side, the River Lions, is to look to make it 2 straight wins.
The River Lions have to keep having fun after Sunday. You got to find your playmakers in transition. They're at their best when they're pushing in transition, getting it into the hands of the guys who can get things going on the offensive end. I mentioned momentum. Uncle Mo arrived in Niagara on Friday. They got to stay there. In game, they got to sustain their runs, and they got to string some wins together. And no more confusion. You have your team. You know their roles. Make sure everybody plays within themselves.
We have more for you coming up. Actually, we're going to go to the starting lineups here as we take a look at the starting fives for both teams. Montreal coming in with Kevin Osawe, Blondo Chiqueno, potential revenge game here. He started the season with the River Lions, has been playing great since joining the Alliance a handful of games ago. Lou Williams III, Jack Hemphill, and I.T. Horton rounding out the starting 5 for Montreal, who are missing some key players. Niagara has Kyle Vinales, who was awesome in his first game on Friday with the team. Khalil Ahmad, TJ Law, Elijah Lufile, and Keontae Kennedy, one of the holdovers from the early part of the season, closing things out in the starting 5 for Coach Kimball McKenzie. And speaking of Kimball McKenzie, he's having a quick word here. He's a guy who gets distracted, Jason. He's supposed to be headed to the baseline, but got to have the pleasantries with head coach Jermaine Small of Montreal. So we'll send it on down to Kimball in a moment here, but should be a really fun one here as Kimball's team looks to kind of gain some chemistry with a bunch of new faces making their arrivals. We will send it on down now to JJ Evison, who is with head coach Kimball McKenzie on the baseline. JJ.
Thanks, guys. Coach, I know there's always belief in your locker room, but what does a win against Scarborough and the way you got it done on Friday night do to a team looking to go on a run here?
Yeah, coming from 24 down, I think it showed that we got some heart and some fight. A win is a win at the end of the day. We're trying to string something together.
Now, a lot of your opportunities came from defense that was pretty tough. How do you get your team to start with that same tenacity here this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, we watched the film back, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When we are into guys and playing hard and flying around defensively, we're a better team for sure.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, on the other side, we'll get you a further set for tip-off, which is minutes away. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, for that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian hoops.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're going to have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is a trail, this is the real, and all that I gotta say, I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away, what a block from behind.
You don't just feel your body, you feel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside. Meridian Centre getting set here for River Lions and the Alliance here on a Sunday afternoon. Sean Woodley, Jason Tom, JJ Anderson here with you all afternoon long. And we've got a player to watch, as outlined by Jason Tom, for the visiting Montreal Alliance. Who you got for us?
You know I gotta go Canadian here. Blondo Chiqueno has really been putting up some huge numbers. You mentioned, I think we're under fire here, Sean. Blondo Chiqueno has really come into his own here with some added minutes since going back to Montreal. Actually played for the Alliance last year. Started the season on Niagara, but obviously with Khalil Ahmad coming to town, he wasn't going to get any more minutes, and he switches over to Montreal. Big time numbers. 14 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 6 steals versus Ottawa. We follow that up with a 19-6-3 game against Brampton. He puts pressure on D, and he puts pressure on the defense when it comes to getting into the paint.
Very cool to see him get an opportunity after kind of being a sparsely used backup earlier on in the season. Who's your player to watch for the River Lions, Jason?
It's the new man with the plan. Kyle Vinales had an outstanding debut on Friday. 24 points, 9 of 19 from the floor. The big one, though, 4 of 8 from 3. You know as well as I do, the River Lions have struggled from the perimeter this season. He only had 2 turnovers as well. He had the ball in his hand a lot of times. When it comes down to this player, Vinales really made his name in the Puerto Rican League. If you're a 6'1" point guard making your name in Puerto Rico, that means you get it done and you are tough. That is what Niagara has missed in the first part of this season, is toughness. And this guy brings it.
A long-time pro, Kyle Vinales, coming off a season playing over in Hungary as well. And there we see that matchup there. Blondo Chiqueno and Kyle Vinales both will be starting here in the backcourt. And you see those numbers there on the season.
Don't let it fool you.
Yeah, the River Lions numbers dragging down the stats for Chiqueno. We'll see if you can add it up a little bit more here. Nearly 59% from the field for Chiqueno during his 3 games played with Montreal. A really nice addition to them mid-season for sure, as we get set here for tip between the River Lions and the Montreal Alliance. And again, let's set the stage here. There's a lot to play for. It's now the final quarter of the season. The Alliance are in the 4th and final playoff spot in the East. The River Lions are 1.5 games back of Montreal. They're just 2 games out of 2nd place in the East. It's Scarborough, then everyone else all bunched up. And so, yeah, it's been a rough start here for the River Lions, but they have a chance to close here, get themselves into the playoff picture, and with this new playoff picture in the CEBL, you get up to that 2 seed, you're hosting a playoff game after all they've gone through this season, and it's very realistically on the table for them.
And a lot of head-to-head coming up here between these teams. You have the Ottawa Blackjacks in here twice. There's a game in Brampton between the River Lions and the Honey Badgers coming up that's going to mean just as much as this game. Every game means everything right now to both these squads. And like you said, getting into the playoffs is one thing. Hosting a playoff game, that's something that the River Lions would not have thought they could have had just a month ago.
Tip-off presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Alliance in blue, River Lions in their home whites, and we're off and running here on a Sunday matinee between Montreal and Niagara as Blondo Chiqueño, the former River Lion, gets things started here. Lou Williams III swings it into Osawe. He'll go to work, puts up the floater, short, and Keontae Kennedy comes away with the board. River Lions with their fans on their feet, trying to get their first bucket. Vinales takes the Lufile screen, he rolls to the nail, puts it on the deck, swings to the corner. Kennedy for 3, that's good. Hemphill, Chiqueño pumps, resets, triggers the 3, but it's short, and Ahmad comes away with it, head up, looking for outlets, finds Kennedy. He'll bring it back out and reset the offense. Vinales drives, and a tough swirling finish for Kyle Vinales.
Multiple paint touches here for the River Lions in their first 2 possessions. That's exactly what they want to get.
Hemphill, heavy on the 3, collected there by Williams. Relocates to the corner. Lou Williams cashes the triple.
It's a good thing that one went down. I think we would have saw an early timeout from Jermaine Small. He does not want his team launching multiple 3s on a possession without getting into the lane.
TJ Law, the longtime CBL vet, finds a cutting Ahmad baseline, and it's a hot offensive start here for Niagara.
River Lions are all about baseline back cuts. It's no surprise. It's in the scouting report.
Chiqueño, paint touch, good.
That's what he does, and so calm, cool, and collected when he does it.
Elijah Lufile. Now we'll set the screen for Vinales. Hits it with a delicate pocket pass and soft touch off glass.
It's been now 4 quarters and 2 minutes, but the chemistry between Lufile and Vinales is definitely there on the PNR.
Hemphill will drive in from the corner. IT Horton tries to do something but loses it. It'll stay here with Montreal. The officials for today's game, by the way, are crew chief Rob Caparici and umpires Tony Turnbull and Troy Bennett. Jack Hemphill finds the cutter, and Kevin Osawe, the captain, lays it in.
Yeah, that's losing him on D was Khalil Ahmad. Not a good look there for the River Lions. As Coach Kimmel McKenzie said at the beginning, they have to play tough on D in every possession.
Vinales swung over to Ahmad, thought about it. He'll pull it back out, 7 on the clock. Lufile comes to screen. Ahmad swings it over, deep triple. Vinales can't cash it, and Horton comes away. Chiqueño sees a couple bodies, up to Hemphill, high-low underneath, Osawe. Good find there by Jack Hemphill.
Vinales really sold out on that defensively and ends up giving an easy 2. This is not the start, but this is a similar start as that Scarborough game where Niagara just kind of feeling things out on both sides right now.
Lufile, and has that picked away by Chiqueño, heads up steal. and Vinales fouls him.
That's what I mean about Chiquinho, is he gets it done on both ends of the floor, getting into passing lanes. He's also a solid one-on-one defender. It's one of those things that the River Lions had him early in the year. I'm sure they dealt with him in practice. They know what's coming, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to stop it. Vinales checks off the floor here in the early going.
Handful of subs here. Munis Tutu is guarding on the ball. He's in his second appearance here for the River Lions, a longtime CEBL mainstay. And Chiquinho, nice little Euro step in the finish.
He is explosive. I've known Jermaine Small long enough to know when there's a Jermaine Small guy on the floor, and that's exactly what Chiquinho is.
And there's Tutu, catches his first attempt since coming in.
Yeah, he's been in this league for a number of years. First time we've seen him in a while. You know what you're going to get from Munis Tutu. Veteran player, not going to make many mistakes out there.
IT Horton, 10 on the clock, swung over to Chiquinho. Trying to gain some separation, but can't as Kennedy stays with him. Then he gets him on the second attempt. Scramble for the ball, and Tutu comes away. Hits TJ Law. Numbers here. And an offensive foul called against TJ Law, who just couldn't get his drive under control.
Yeah, no, that was a very smart defensive play. And that's exactly what you want if you're the Montreal Alliance. You make your hay on the defensive end. Lou Williams also took a nasty hit to the back of the head there, but these are tough players here. It's funny how you see across this league that no matter where the players come from, they seem to adopt the style of the city. And Montreal basketball is all about toughness and grit, and this Alliance squad is all about that.
And Tutu's going to get called for the foul there, guarding Chiquinho. There's 14 on the clock. It'll be reset. And Keyshawn Barthélemy, wearing number 3, will check in here for IT Horton. He joins Lou Williams, Osawe, Chiquinho, and George Lefebvre on the floor for Jermaine Small's Montreal Alliance.
The other thing Chiquinho does so well in that game against Brampton, where he was such a key piece, drew 7 fouls. And that's so important in this league. It just means you're putting pressure at the point of entry, and that's exactly what he does. And if you could turn that into free throws, even though Montreal doesn't shoot them so well, it's still going to be positive for your squad.
7 on the clock here as Chiquinho looks for something. He's running out of time. He'll put it up himself from deep and can't get the friendly roll. Deflected out of bounds off Osawe, and the River Lions will come away all knotted up at 11th.
That's really the first time Chiquinho did not get into the paint. That's not the shot you want, but when the shot clock's winding down, you're going to need to pull it up to beat it.
11-11 early on. We'll come back with the rest of the first quarter. You're watching the CEBL on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Back and forth they go early on, 11-11 between the Alliance and the River Lions at the first break here in the first quarter. And this Eastern Conference game is presented to you by Lotto Max as the teams come in from their timeouts and get reset. The River Lions will roll out a lineup featuring Kyle Vinales, who got a very short break, along with Munis Tutu, Keontae Kennedy, Nathan Kayo, and Gorjak Gak, who's a recent signing as well, played his first game for the River Lions. The 6'11 center from Australia is on the floor wearing number 12 for Niagara. Was big in that Friday victory, in addition to Munis Tutu and Vinales making their debuts. It's Chiquinho along with Barthélemy, Williams, Lefebvre, and Osawe for Montreal.
Quite a size difference out there right now. It'll be interesting to see what that affects both on offense and defense here.
Kennedy thought about it, but drives in and gets the very friendly roll on the mid-range Jimmy.
The mid-range game is alive and well in the CEBL. It's just a matter of how often they go down. Shooting percentage is way down in this league this season, so defensively, I think you're fine with that.
Barthélemy. Good communication on D by the River Lions. And Tutu gets in there and does what he does, pokes that free and comes away with it.
That was clean.
Tutu probing as Osawe switched on him. Down to Kayo. He finds Gak in the middle and he can't get it to go.
Gak's still pretty raw in a lot of different ways when you put strong defense on him. Not a lot of touch down low.
Barthélemy swung over to Chiquinho. He'll drive, and there's that paint touch, playing off 2 feet, kicks it out, and Barthélemy cans the triple.
That gets a couple of claps out of Jermaine Small. That's what you want. Get it into the paint before kicking out. Tutu versus Chiquinho is going to be quite a matchup to watch in this game.
Tutu now with 12 on the clock. Looking for something to develop, finds Viñales. And he's fouled on the reach in there by Barthélemy. IT Horton's going to check in. Lou Williams will take a seat for Montreal.
Viñales is very crafty, not going to blow past you with the speed or the first step, but he plays his angles very, very well.
Viñales over to Kennedy. Takes the Gak screen, pulls up from mid-range, leaves that well short. And Montreal the other way. Heads up pass, Osawe to the corner, and Barthélemy, that's 2 straight triples.
Yeah, Barthélemy coming off his best game of the season. One of those young Canadians in this league that needs a month of practices under his belt to really get used to the pro game, and he's coming within himself right now. That only means great things for the Alliance. They need him to play big minutes and do exactly what he just did right there.
Foul against the Alliance. While we get reset here, you can reminder you can follow the CEBL at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. As Nathan Kayo kicks it up to Viñales, he'll turn around at the free throw line, can't get it to go, and it's ripped off the glass by Osawe.
Very strong defense right there, just getting right up into him.
Barthélemy checks the stove, and it's red hot.
It's been hot since they left Montreal. I can't believe he got it plugged in on the bus on the way down here, but very impressive start here for the young man.
Tutu. Nice little exchange there between him and Kennedy, and he's going to stick here with the River Lions. Is that a kick?
Got a warning on the Montreal bench there.
Baseline inbound here, 2:16 to go in quarter number 1. River Lions all of a sudden trailing by 7. Got a little cold after a hot start on offense.
Yeah, they started 5 of 6, but definitely got off the schneid there a little bit. Nice finish by Gak.
And Barthélemy, who's hit 3 straight triples, he'll let someone else do it for now.
One of those points where you don't need to take the shot right now.
But you want to so bad, Jason.
It's the devil versus the angel on the shoulders right now.
Chiquinho drives, kicks it back out. Osawe leaves the 3 short. And here's Viñales on the run to Kennedy. And Keontae Kennedy throws it down.
Okay, KK. Putting a man on a poster there here in the opening quarter in Niagara.
Nearly lost control of that one, but still managed with the outstretched arm to throw it down. Not the first time Keontae Kennedy's brought the Thunder in this building this season.
Yeah, he had a little eyebrow raise there towards his opponent afterwards. But, hey, Chiquinho very strong defender, but he's also only 6'1". Can't do much in that, but you got to give it to him. He didn't run away from the poster. He took one for the team.
There is such thing as a noble poster.
That's correct.
You know?
I mean, he had good defensive positioning. Arms were straight up. Did everything textbook that you'd want to do.
A poster that'll get you a little tap on the butt from the coach.
Exactly.
Barthélemy nearly threw that one away, and then it was thrown away, but there's going to be a foul called here underneath. Something seemed to miss with why that pass was so errant.
It's a veteran move by Khalil Ahmad off the ball, but a veteran call by veteran official Tony Turnbull that he caught him pulling on the hip. And you know what they're looking for is, have you affected a turnover by something that you did illegally? And that's exactly what happened there on that play.
Jack Hemphill at the free throw line spent the earlier part of his year playing in Serbia. And while he's there, a reminder, Cal Tire is a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. So just about a minute left here, 22-17 early on for the visiting side as the River Lions walk it up here. Viñales surveying, throws it into Jordan Chuente, deep on the block, swung to the corner, Cayo three, that's good.
I was pointing out Nathan Cayo was not in the last game for the River Lions. The game previous, he went 0 of 7 from the field. I can't remember the last time he did that, so it was nice to see him drop one there.
Bit of an uneven season for Nathan Cayo, a guy who's been a real mainstay for this River Lions team for years. And before that, played for Montreal for a spell. Ayoub Nur-Hussein cashes the corner three, and all of a sudden, it's a one-point game.
He's played some garbage minutes for this team, but did very well in that time. I think he's earned just a couple of minutes here for the River Lions as long as he stays within himself and does what he's asked.
Shot clock is off, 6 seconds to work with for Barthélemy. He'll get downhill to the corner, Hemphill three. That's way off, misses everything, and the quarter comes to an end with the Montreal Alliance leading the River Lions in a highly important clash in the Eastern Conference playoff race, 24-23. Should be a good one in store as we head towards the second quarter coming up in a few minutes' time. You're watching the CEBL on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus. Second quarter on the way.
It's more than a workout. It's my reset, my challenge, my win. From High Rocks training to recovery, Pilates to hitting new personal bests. Strength days, sweat days, the days I almost skipped but didn't. These are the days that make me stronger. One gym, every journey, limitless possibilities.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. And it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian boost. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Welcome back to Niagara, where the Alliance have a 1-point lead to start the second quarter. And River Lions head coach Kimball McKenzie gave me some insight this week into one of the most difficult parts about managing a CEBL roster, the constant movement throughout the summer. McKenzie agreed with the idea that the teams often feel like three different versions of themselves across one season because players arrive at different times from overseas, injuries happen quickly, and roster flexibility becomes essential. But McKenzie says one thing that remains constant is the need for players willing to buy into something bigger than themselves, even if their role changes throughout the year, Sean.
Thanks so much, JJ. Yeah, a lot of turnover for this River Lions team just in the last week. And you'd hope they can find some sort of continuity down the stretch here as Cole Long, who's been here all season long, gets into the paint and is called for the travel to kick off the second quarter.
Continuity of rosters has been in trouble in the CEBL since the beginning, but here's something for you, Sean.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world. That is the battle of both. But I understand Kimball McKenzie's. The buy-in is the toughest one, being here just for the summertime. And that is a challenge for everybody in this league. But you talk to G League head coaches and general managers, it's the exact same thing there. You just always have to make sure you got your eye on the next one.
There's Khalil Ahmad with the driving lefty finish, and the River Lions are up 1.
And that's what makes a player like Khalil Ahmad that much more important to a team. When you can find somebody like that who loves the area, has some connections, and wants to come back every year, you can hang your hat on a franchise player like that. And every squad has identified somebody like that, and then you need to be able to build around them with a supporting cast.
Squirts away from Jack Hemphill there. Turnover, Montreal trailing by 1.
Yeah, Montreal really has both these teams have a thin margin for error when it comes to that. Every little turnover, although that's a dead ball one, so you'll take it, those are the ones, like, it just really, really hurts your squad. You need to have execution on every possession.
Ahmad drives, can't get it to go on the reverse, and it's knocked out of bounds off an Alliance player, so we'll stay here with Niagara 14 on the clock as Blondo Chiqueño and Kevin Osawe are going to check in here for Montreal. Barthélemy will take a seat, as will IT Horton. Barthélemy leading all scorers in this game with 11 as he takes a breather. The inbound to Lafile underneath, and he'll try to use that bulbous frame to get some space, but can't get it to fall. Osawe sees part, lays it in.
Osawe has been so important for this Alliance team all season long. One of those mainstays throughout the year and just does everything very well. Another player that really using the CEBL to his advantage as well. Gets better year over year and will take that into his overseas contract.
The Brampton native, Kevin Osawe. Another turnover here for the River Lions as Chiqueño can't finish at the rim. Collected there by Nur Hussein, and I think he was fouled, and so it'll be River Lions ball. Couple subs coming in here as we take a look at that last sequence.
Yeah, foul on the loose ball there. Trent Johnson getting called on that one. But again, Chiqueño putting pressure on the ball. What I love about him, he just puts his head down and plays. Very rarely complaining about not getting a call or anything along those lines. He's just going to keep taking it time and time again.
Here's Ahmad in the corner. Tries to throw the skip to the other side, but Trent Johnson comes away with the steal, recently checked in. Here's Lou Williams, catch and shoot 3. That's good.
And that's a great find by Chiqueño again.
And we've got a technical foul called against Khalil Ahmad, who didn't like something.
Did not see that myself either.
Ahmad looks a little perplexed, but I think anyone who's ever gotten a technical in their life looks perplexed right after.
I think the only person that is the coaches. The coaches usually are using that to their advantage, and very rarely are they surprised.
I feel like someone like Rasheed Wallace was probably like, "Yep, had that coming." At some point.
I think, what was it? Is it the Jailblazers documentary? I don't know if you've seen it yet on Netflix.
Yeah.
Quite amazing to see a gentleman like that reflect on the insanity that he brought upon the NBA.
And Lou Williams hits the technical free throw. So it's a 5-point edge here for Montreal. Munis Tutu will bring it up the floor here. Finds Kennedy. Over to Vinales, lets it go. That's good, Kyle Vinales indeed.
Still needs to find his groove in this game. Still trying to find his way in general, playing off the ball, on the ball other times. I think Kimball McKenzie just trying to find the different looks he can provide.
And there's Jack Hemphill screaming down the lane to lay it in. 2-2. Snakes through a couple defenders, but leaves it on the rim. Osawe now. He'll back down on Vinales, sees a couple bodies, and it's going to be called a foul against Vinales, who was about to get it stolen away on the entry pass there.
Yeah, that's smart defensively. He knew he was the mouse in the house right there, so the best chance he had was to try to step in to steal away that entry pass. A little overzealous and caught Osawe on the arm.
Lou Williams firing off the baseline inbound. Can't hit, and here's Nathan Kayo running the break. He'll turn it into a little improvised post-up against Johnson. Kicks to the corner for Tutu. Back up top, Vinales, 14 on the clock. Good transition defense there by Montreal. Vinales into the lane, up and through.
That's tough if you're the Alliance, because you know Niagara wants to push it. Like you said, good transition defense, shut that down, then you allow a wide open waltz to the basket.
Osawe. At Hemphill. He'll have that deflected out of bounds. It'll stay here with Montreal with 13 on the clock as Barthélemy and Lefebvre check back in. Williams and Hemphill will get a blow. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL, and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. I quite like these Montreal kits. I'm calling them kits, and I'm watching a lot of World Cup as Chiqueño lays it in.
I like the baby blues that they have as well. They wear them fairly often when they come through Niagara.
I'm a sucker for a pinstripe, I think is what I've learned. Here's Vinales. Can't hit the three. Johnson comes away with it. Looking to add to this 4-point lead. Osawe hands it off to Chiqueño. He's got Twente guarding him. Down in the post. Got that mismatch again with Vinales.
Asking for help.
Osawe pulls up a bit of a leaner and gets it to go.
Vinales did not want to pick up another foul and gave up an easy two, and now he and Jermaine Small having a little laugh.
Vinales, the 34-year-old veteran. Drives, kicks, Kayo. Three's off.
34, I'm going to guess the oldest in the league right now once he was signed to this squad.
That makes me upset as someone who will be 34 later this year. Into the corner, Osawe. Drives baseline, tries to go through Kayo. It's a tough man to go through, but he's fouled, and it's going to be a pair of free throws for Kevin Osawe out of Brampton, who played this past season for Paderborn in Germany.
That is what they call a patient whistle, Sean. Back when I was broadcasting full-time, drove me nuts. But in reality, that's what they're taught FIBA officiating. You want to see the consequence of the contact. He missed the layup, they blow the whistle.
We will see the consequence of the contact, and those free throws coming up on the other side. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus Alliance by 6.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca.
36-30, the Montreal Alliance lead. The Niagara River Lions here on a Sunday afternoon at Meridian Centre. Jason, Tom, what is standing out to you as we are now halfway through quarter number 2 here? River Lions have yet to really kind of seize control of this game, which you thought carrying over from Friday would have been the hope.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 of their last 8 from the field. I think, again, they were, flying high, having this new hired gun on the squad. They're also running into a Montreal team that is just very different than the last team that they played. Yeah. So I think just a lot of figuring out, but I'm just happy we're at 36-30. These 2 teams could easily finish the game 70-69. So this is an offensive outburst that we are witnessing. So definitely happy, and I think it's good as well because pretty good crowd here for a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Niagara.
Yeah, the both teams shooting near 59% from the field to start. The Alliance 5 of 12 from deep, as Osawe is going to head to the free throw line for a pair.
I think the biggest thing for the Alliance, Jermaine Small, is absolutely loving the fact they're 5 of 5 from the line. They're shooting around 62%, I think, from the line this season.
River Lions yet to get to the charity stripe in this game, as Vignales now over to Kennedy. Vignales takes the Chuente screen, and he tries to find a cutting Tutu. He somehow manages to pick up the loose ball. Chuente can't hit it, but Tutu keeps it alive, and he's out of bounds. The Montreal player going to the sideline, steps out. It'll stay here with Niagara after a bit of a busted possession.
Well, yeah, Montreal obviously protecting that perimeter. You've seen them a couple times just allow easy 2s to the basket. It's obviously in the game plan. They just don't want them to get hot from range.
Vignales. Now to Chuente, 6 on the clock. He'll go to work. Tries to go through George Lefebvre. He's fouled, and Jordan Chuente will get the first 2 free throws for the River Lions this afternoon.
I was mentioning about getting the ball to your playmakers. It's been a struggle for Niagara this season. Is who are the playmakers outside of Khalil Ahmad?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Vignales is one of them. I'm seeing Jordan Chuente kind of become that option 2.5. He can get things done off the ball. Obviously, a very big body, so he can put the body into the defender and be able to get himself to the rim. Again, got to be able to execute when you get to the line. I've seen the evolution of this young man's game, and I think he can be a key piece to this River Lions squad going forward as a 3-and-D guy, but at the same time being able to make teams pay defensively on these mismatches.
Guy who plays a lot bigger than his listed size as well. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket tonight. Must be 18 years or older, as the Alliance lock it up here, leading by 7 on the road. 8-9 on the season is Montreal, looking to get back to 500 with a win here today. Barthélemy takes the screen from Osawe, gets into the paint. Tough leaner, and it's collected underneath by Lefebvre. Offensive board, and he's fouled.
They're definitely running Barthélemy off the line now, making him a playmaker, driving to the basket. He can get that done as well, but obviously when you start warming up like that from range, you want to try to get more of those touches. And when you have to change up your perception, sometimes, for such a young man, doesn't quite have that offensive skill set at the pro level just yet.
Trent Johnson puts up the 3 after a pump fake. Probably should have just let her rip on the first opportunity there, and River Lions the other way. Chuente going to work in his office. Tutu bangs the 3 from Chuente.
Not a lot of rotation on that 3-point attempt from Tutu, but you will take that if you're the River Lions. Nice in and out movement. Get it in, kick it back out, making the defense pay on being late.
And Barthélemy, he picks up right where he left off, gets the pull-up tray to go. He's at 4 for 4 from downtown.
He's going to live out there for the rest of the night.
Tutu tries to strike back, and they're trading 3s here in Niagara.
That's on the scouting report. You know that when it comes down to it, the Alliance know what Munis Tutu is going to do. You want to make sure that he's not getting comfortable out there.
Trent Johnson tries to strike back and does.
I'm all for a shootout, but I'm pretty sure the Montreal Alliance don't want to get into this sort of game. They want to continue to make sure that they get it down low.
Here's Ahmad. He'll drive. Speaking of getting down low, all the way into the paint. Easy 2.
That's about 5, just walks to the basket for the River Lions. They'll take it. The Lions are probably going to want to tighten that up a little bit here in the second half.
IT Horton driving on Kennedy. Good contest there, but it's swung back out. Barthélemy thought about it, swings it over to Johnson. Tough turnaround baseline J, and Niagara comes away with it.
And I heard Jermaine Small scream, "That is not your shot." I think Trent Johnson would agree with that as well.
2-2. And he is fouled by Horton, and Muniz 2-2. He's going to head to the free throw line for a pair.
2-2 very much more comfortable camping out in the land beyond. So that's the type of shot you want to take for Montreal. But as mentioned, you don't want to get them to the line. That one, defensive player just not in legal guarding position, even though he had his arms straight up. That's a foul.
Muniz 2-2 will head to the free throw line. The Carleton alum, and a timeout has been called here. So we got a couple minutes left here in the half. We'll look ahead to halftime. Coming up at the half, the CDIC top defensive plays from June, plus J.J. Evison will interview Alliance head coach Jermaine Small. Get the first half stats and a look at Jason's players to watch that he laid out before the game. What is Jason watching with 2 minutes left here to close the quarter?
Both teams wanting to implement what they're going to try to do in this second half. I think you're going to see the Alliance say, guys, we got to get back to those paint touches before kicking out. Last 3 trips down the floor, the ball hasn't made it into the lane. That's just not their game. It's quite obvious. I think that's on the Montreal side. I think the River Lions, when it comes down to it, defensively, they want to make sure that they're making the River Lions take the shots that they wanted to take. Obviously, I don't think they came into this game, although Keyshawn Barthélemy had a good last game, I don't think he was the top of their priority. I think it will be in the second half. One of those moments where I think you'll see a player get hot to start, and in the second half, you may see him cool down because he is going to be a focus of that scouting report here through the final 2 quarters.
When it comes to Montreal's defense, we mentioned it before, we've seen 4, 5, just like easy parades to the rim for River Lions guards. That's got to be something that gets tightened up.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think their focus has been on the perimeter, and sometimes, I mean, you can't guard everything. And I think, again, this is a team that's going 7 deep probably this game, so they have to be cognizant of their minutes and the energy that they are expending. Obviously, in the second half, you can't give up baskets like that. Target score time, you can't give up baskets like that. But I think it's just them selling out to the fact that they don't want anybody to get hot, like we've seen on Barthélemy.
Sure.
You don't want to send it in the second half. You don't want, Vinales or Khalil Ahmad sitting at 20 points heading into the second half. Because once you, I think you can shut down to Keyshawn Barthélemy. You can't shut down 2 vets like that if they get too hot.
And 2-2 splits the pair. So a couple minutes left here in the frame. Both teams looking to close the half strong. Hemphill finds Barthélemy. Keyshawn Barthélemy into the lane, kicks it out. Chiqueño, he'll drive. Back out, Barthélemy looking to go 5 for 5, but misses everything.
That was very good collapsing defense by the River Lions. Having said that, that was the last guy you wanted to leave wide open for a 3, and he airs it out. He got lucky on that one.
Kennedy finds Kayo. Over to Ahmad. He sizes up Osawe. 2-2 now. Swung to the corner. Nice heads-up pass there to Keontae Kennedy. He'll drive, turns around, hits the tough shot.
You're not allowed to give it too small after that because that was outstanding defense, but just better offense.
Chiqueño to Osawe on the wing. Looking for options. Back up to Chiqueño. He'll drive on Chuente. Tough contest, but it's going to result in a foul by Chuente on the former River Lions guard. Blondo Chiqueño going to head to the line for a pair.
That's a ton of respect for Chiqueño that they put Jordan Chuente on him, because he is their Swiss Army knife on defense. And to say, hey, we need you to shut down 15 here in the final minute, that's a measure of respect here for the former practice player and minimal minutes played here for the River Lions, and now all of a sudden he's one of the top on their scouting report coming into the game.
6 points and 3 assists so far in 13 minutes of action for Blondo Chiqueño. And he's up to 7 now as he splits the pair at the line.
And a little love tap between Chuente and Chiqueño there, running back down the floor.
Kennedy over to Tutu. It's Kayo looking for options. Up top, Kennedy. He'll drive. And just can't get the footwork right, misses, and back comes Montreal. Chiqueño, deep paint position, kicked out, Hemphill. Osawe. Ten on the clock, Chiqueño. Back over to Osawe, he'll drive, and he's fouled on the drive by Nathan Kayo.
I don't think head coach Kimball McKenzie agreed with the foul call there, and obviously putting him at the line here in the final 16 seconds isn't ideal. If you have a foul to give, a little bit different in that situation, but that definitely hurts him. The gamesmanship between Jermaine Small and Kimball McKenzie, I was looking forward to it. These are two OGs in the CEBL, right? One both as a player, one as a coach. You know, these guys both appreciate what the league brings, but they also are coming for a Sunday afternoon and want to have fun with one another and chirp each other and put it all on the floor when it comes to what they can do on their side on the coaching.
And Osawe hits the second. It's a 4-point lead here. Shot clock is off. River Lions presumably will hold for the final shot of the half.
Who do you think is taking it?
My guess would be the guy who has the ball in his hands right now is Khalil Ahmad. Swings it over. Kayo screaming down the lane. And a putback by Chuente underneath, and they're going to count it. So it'll be a 2-point edge here. I'm sure they'll we'll take a look here at that.
Yeah, that was good and on time on the tip. And what I love about it is everybody was thinking the same thing. And guess what? The River Lions 3 weeks ago would have done exactly what you said. Instead, because of the opening layups that they had earlier in the game, they made sure that they had that advantage, and it was Chuente there to clean up the mess.
So it's a 2-point game here at the half. Plenty of riveting Eastern Conference action on the way. This is going to be a blast to see who can hold on as we go to the second half. We will come back. Oh, sorry, excuse me. We're going to send things down to the baseline. We've got Kevin Osawe, player of the half, with J.J. Emerson.
Thanks, Kevin. A lot of good things offensively, good ball movement, paint touches. What do you like that's working on the offensive side early this afternoon?
We're just moving the ball, getting everybody involved. Although we're short today, we still have confidence winning the game. So we're just moving the ball around, and taking the best look.
From tip-off, it's been a back-and-forth contest. How do you create some separation in the second half?
We got to obviously lock up on the outside of the ball, defensively. A few mistakes, little tweaks, and we'll be fine.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
All right, on the other side, we break down the first half action. Sean and Jason will do that. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Here's House fighting an edge on Krause. Krause with the block, and Tillman able to corral it. Here comes Teddy Allen in transition. Dishes it out to Osborne for 3. Boomsies. And that'll draw a timeout from Vancouver.
Great play in transition by Winnipeg right there. Anytime it seems when Osborne could get his feet set, he just knocks it down.
Out of the hands of Scarborough, 2-on-1. Notice right to the cup. Met nicely by Powell. And Frank Mitchell is going to be uncontested for a two-handed slam with a little bit of extra mustard on that.
Good possession out of the timeout for Edmonton with Scotty Lindsay making the three. Now Bediako swarmed in the paint. He wants the foul, but no whistle on that sequence. Vanderbilt driving the lane and a 5-0 run.
There's Teger Ize setting the screen, wearing number 20, catches the pass, goes up, he's stopped at the rim by Warrens in a shot clock violation. A great stop there by the undersized Warrens, going up and getting the block of the big man.
Vertically challenging, I love that.
And that is denied. And here comes Lou Williams, the third interception. Kennedy, 3-on-2 for the River Lions. Hollis, Kennedy, looking through, up and over. And the forensic finish, courtesy of the River Lions.
Excellent left-handed tip-in right there by former Montreal Alliance player Curtis Hollis.
Here comes Vanderbilt in the gallop on his flank around Bukal. Denied by Bukal. And rebounded right back over towards Davion Warren in the game for the first time today. Warren gets his first 2 points, and remember, he's had quite the success playing here for Dunn as an Alliance member and other teams.
Correct. Both teams have gone to their bench early, and both teams.
17 on the shot clock. Harmon has to inbound, gets it into Davinsky, slips, and Allen gets a hand on that one. Up ahead to him, and an easy 2 for the former MVP, who's also a guy you mentioned, does it in all categories and averages a couple of steals a night.
Correct.
Trying to get through and slither his way up. The twist and turn, looking, waiting, positive movement, denied by second, and Gurry is fouled by Hildebrandt, and that will be the second team foul on Winnipeg.
McGowan's got himself 2 feet in the paint, but excellent discipline from Michael Hughes, standing his ground, not going for the pump fake, having a nice block defensively. The Alliance going the other way. Offense, there it is right there.
Couple of dribbles, and he finds Smart. Smart attacking. That one's batted around, and Jones the other way in a hurry, and a thunderous one-handed flush. Tevian Jones has 8.
Powell trying to change that, and they wanted to call no foul. Play on. They're letting them play early on here tonight in Scarborough.
More blocks than buckets so far.
Easier.
Yeah, but look, they run transition, and what do you do against the big? You attack, but this is a nice left-handed block.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Back inside here at Meridian Centre as it's 46-44 for the Montreal Alliance on the road, looking for a victory to move to 9-9 on the season. As we take a look at some of the first half highlights on Montreal's end of things, Keyshawn Barthélemy leading the way, 14 points, 4 of 5 from downtown. Kevin Osaway has 11 points. Jason, what's standing out to you for a short-handed Montreal team that's still got a 2-point edge here.
Everything Osawe said to JJ at halftime, they're sharing the ball, they're getting everybody involved. I mean, when it comes down to it, you want a team that's fully bought in, and a lot of times when you're undermanned, you are fully bought in. They're doing exactly what they needed to do, stay out of foul trouble, and everybody just starts enjoying things a little bit more when that's going on.
The River Lions, on the other hand, trying to build off a big win on Friday. Pretty balanced effort across the board. No one in double figures for them. However, a whole bunch of guys have gotten on the board. What's standing out to you from what the River Lions were able to put together in that first half? And is there enough in what they're showing today to pull out a victory?
I think really it's going to be what halftime adjustments they can make. I think there's some options here that Kimball McKenzie is looking at. He has 2 star guards that have really not been able to get too hot in this one, and I think you get one of them going here in the second half, it's going to change everything when it comes down to it. The playmakers on the River Lions do that a little bit better than those on the Alliance, and I think that's all you want to do. How can you get the ball into those guys' hands in positions that they're going to be able to attack and score?
And then we take a look at the players to watch from that first half, Jason. Who stood out to you between Blondo Chiqueño and Kyle Viñales? Are they living up to your player-to-watch status?
I think Chiqueño did a very good job defensively. Didn't always result in stops. He's doing it on both ends of the floor, and he's the guy who's the one that's key in the offense. He's the one getting into the paint to get those kickouts that Jermaine Small likes so much. Viñales got into foul trouble, 3 fouls. That's going to be the thing for him to battle in the CEBL, is understanding that it's a different officiated game than really anywhere he's been. So I think he's really trying to figure that out as well.
Yeah, remember, 5 fouls in FIBA basketball renders a player out for the game, and so certainly we'll keep an eye on the foul totals for Kyle Viñales going into the second half here. Jason, anything else standing to you from the way the flow of this first half has gone?
Well, this is what we said coming into it, that this game means so much to both teams. It's being played that way. This feels like a playoff game. They're battling for every inch out there. There's a lot of solid screens being put out there. A lot of emotion, considering this is a Sunday afternoon game. There's 3 Sunday afternoon games in the CBL this year. You kind of flag those as possible slow starting for all these different teams. I think both of these squads are happy with where they're at, but the second half and what adjustments can be made is going to be very exciting to see.
Well, you mentioned the standings. We will take a look at those standings coming back on the other side of the break. We'll also hear from Jermaine Small, head coach of the Montreal Alliance, as the second half is on the way. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and it's on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus. Alliance by 2, still plenty to play.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
Automax now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do. It's more than a workout. It's my reset, my challenge, my win. From high rocks training to recovery, Pilates to hitting new personal bests. Strength days, sweat days, the days I almost skipped but didn't. These are the days that make me stronger. One gym, every journey, limitless possibilities.
Second half is moments away here at Meridian Centre. It's 46-44. Montreal Alliance lead the Niagara River Lions. We had a look here at Blondo Chiqueño, one of your players to watch, Jason, and he has a really interesting path to where he is now as a pro basketball player.
When we talk about the CEBL being a developmental league, we talk about the CEBL being a pathway for these players, Chiqueño is exactly what this league is perfect for. You know, mid-major player, put up some decent numbers, but coming out, where was he going to go? He played for Montreal last year, got a little taste of the FIBA game, was able to get some tape, and then goes to Croatia, right? Second league in Croatia, pretty decent season, comes back. Now we see him kind of blossoming into what he's going to be. I mean, he's a 6'1" guard from Canada. We got a ton of them. And Montreal, they pump those players out all the time, but these are tough-nosed players. And when we talk about a Vinales right now, very similar, where he was, we'll call him a mid-major player, put up some massive numbers, and then had to find his way around. I mentioned he was in Puerto Rico, made a name there. Chiqueño went to Venezuela, a better league. So now he's going to go into a better league after this season. This is what we talk about, a pathway. This is a stepping stone, and I know this is very important for the CEBL to be able to tell these success stories.
We're going to send things down to a success story in his own right. It's Jermaine Small, head coach of the Montreal Alliance, with JJ Evison. JJ.
Thanks, Sean. Coach, you look at the box score and you see 15 attempts from the two-point area, 16 from the three-point area. What does that tell you about how your team is getting offense here this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, they're open looks. I mean, the ball's moving, which I love. And then, you know what? Like, I want our guys to shoot with confidence, so they're doing that. So I'm loving it so far. I mean, we've made 7 of them, so they're open. I told them, let it fly.
What needs to change defensively to create a little bit of a gap here heading into the third quarter?
Just play without fouling. I mean, I thought our discipline, or I thought we could be more disciplined. You know, we got them down to some late clock shots, and then we end up bailing them out with a foul. So once we take care of the discipline part, I think we'll be all right.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck.
All right, appreciate you.
Sean, back to you.
Thanks, JJ, and thanks to Coach Small for taking the time. As we take a look now, Jason, at the standings in the CEBL, and it's just a mess in the East. Of course, Scarborough, class of the conference, they're going to finish number 1, all things being equal here. But you've got Brampton, Ottawa, Montreal, Niagara, all separated by 2 games. Tons to play for. Of course, a reminder, the top 4 teams in each conference make the playoffs. 1 and 2 will host playoff games, respectively, against 4 and 3. And yeah, the River Lions had a brutal start to the season, really up and down, but they're sitting here a game and a half out. They'll be a half game out if they can pull off this victory. There's a ton on the line.
And Brampton started red hot. Now they're back to 500, and they're playing the River Lions later this week. And obviously Brampton playing this afternoon in Ottawa, which has been one of the hottest teams in the league as well. So, I mean, JJ had talked about Kimmel McKenzie saying you get 3 different teams. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing what these different teams are doing in the standings now. When you talk about Summer League ending here over the next week or so, then we see those players come back. So it's who gets hot at the right time in this league has always been the best case.
Yeah, and those new additions, of course, you've got Kyle Vinales, we've been talking about here, Munis Tutu for Niagara. They also signed A.J. Davis, a longtime mainstay of the team, to come for his 5th season. He's going to close out the year. We've seen him around here, A.J. Davis. He's going to probably suit up later this week. And then, of course, you got Ottawa signing Deng Adel, who we know all of that guy in these parts. He's a very, very good seasoned CEBL pro, and we'll have to see how it all impacts the standings down the stretch. But very little margin for error for any of these teams. And a game like this, absolutely a must-win for both if they want to hang on to those spots. You don't want to be the one team in the conference not dancing come the postseason, and that is not a place Niagara in particular has found themselves very often at all throughout their time in the CEBL. As we get started here, second half, getting ready to roll. Montreal will have possession to kick things off. Chiqueño with Osawe, Williams, Hemphill, and Horton on the floor for Jermaine Small's side. Up by 2 at the half. Here's Lou Williams in over Elijah Lafile, but good contest, and he misses.
Good start defensively for the River Lions here to start the third quarter.
Vinales gets the Lufile screen. Crosses back over. He'll call Ahmad to meet him. And an off-ball foul there on IT Horton.
Ooh, that's a bailout right there.
Exactly what Jermaine Small was talking about, huh?
Vinales was on an island there. Him and Khalil Ahmad were not on the same page.
Shot clock was at 4, gets reset to 14 as well. Ahmad, he's got Horton guarding him. He'll rise and fire from deep, pops out, and Montreal comes away with it.
Yeah, you'll take that all day if you're the Alliance. Khalil Ahmad just having to take that late in the shot clock really didn't put a lot into that attempt.
Chiqueño, Hemphill, pick and pop 3, that's off.
Yeah, that's not a shot that you want that early in the shot clock. Jermaine said, maybe you want to take that back in the halftime. If you're open, take it. Okay, well, not 4 seconds into the shot clock, guys.
Vinales leaves the floater on the front of the rim, and Montreal looking for the first points of the half. And it's a turnover. Vinales again, waiting for his team to catch up. And hits Elijah Lufile. Caio does, screaming down the lane, and it's a tie ball game.
Very good recognition right there as the late trailer. Seeing Chiqueño was the last guy down low to step in, and that was not going to end up well for the Alliance.
Kennedy chasing around Chiqueño. Hemphill didn't hit the first, tried the second, and can't imagine that one's going to have the green light again.
Yeah, he's the big on the floor right now. You don't necessarily want that happening unless it's coming off a pick-a-pop situation or a drive and kick.
Ahmad up to Kennedy. 9 on the clock. Keontae Kennedy probing, rises and fires from mid-range, short. Caio underneath, tough offensive board, and he puts it back.
Yeah, River Lions really bailing themselves out on that one. Not a great offensive possession. I think coming off this halftime, neither of these teams really happy what's looking on the offensive end for their teams.
Kennedy in Chiqueño's shirt. 10 on the clock. Ahmad guarding hard. Horton splits the defenders, and Massawe cutting baseline puts it up and through.
Very good defense for about 18 seconds there. Ended up, though, with an easy 2 for Montreal.
Vinales. He's going to be fouled by Horton, trying to wall off the drive.
Through the ball handler off balance. That's going to be a foul every time, but not 2 fouls that you want to see in the early going, especially now that Horton has 4.
Horton will take a seat. Keyshawn Barthelemy checks into the game. He of the 4 of 5 from downtown in the first half. Lufile just can't connect there with Vinales, and it's a turnover. Lou Williams the other way, and he misses. Hemphill can't get the putback.
A 3-on-1 coming up empty. Not what you want to see from Montreal.
Sloppy on both ends
yes.
so far in this half. Ahmad into the lane, he'll lay it in.
Yeah, a lot of individual basketball right now for the River Lions. And on the other end, Jermaine Small, I think less than happy with the defensive stance in the first 3+ minutes here for Montreal.
What a democratic way to put that. We're going to come back on the other side for the rest of the third quarter as the River Lions are up by 2. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League on CBC Jam YouTube and CEBL Plus. More on the way.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
The River Lions have regained a narrow lead over the Montreal Alliance here in the third quarter. A bit of a sloppy affair both ways for these teams to kick off the third, but the River Lions getting the better of it so far. Jason, if you're Jermaine Small, we saw him rather animated going into that timeout. What's the messaging there as they try to get things back on track here on the Montreal side of things?
Play your role defensively. You mentioned about bailing out these players. They saw a couple of fouls there by Horton that resulted in 2 fouls that obviously hurt them. You need to make sure that you're in the position you're supposed to be. You can't let that first half that went so well end up going downhill just because off broken plays. The River Lions have better offensive talent.
Osawe drives, sees a couple bodies, kicks it over to Chiqueno. The three is off, and a scramble for the rebound. Montreal comes away with it. Good second effort there by Lou Williams. He gets it back and can't hit the three.
So the threes aren't going down for Montreal right now. You can't fall in love with them just because you had a decent first half. Go back to doing what was working in that first half, getting into the lane.
Tayo's got the smaller Chiqueno on him. Osawe shading over to help. Oh, Ahmad can't finish it on the cut. And here comes Montreal once again. Lou Williams, he'll try it again from the corner. Second time is pure.
That was one of the, you have to take that shot. In transition, in rhythm. He just had a corner three that he missed. You knew that one was going down. Oh, the silencer.
1 point edge here for Montreal after that made three by not that Lou Williams. Kennedy, baseline jumper, short. Lufile underneath, has it poked away. And here come the Alliance. Williams tries to feed it into Hemphill, but some good active hands there, poked it free. Still ends up with Montreal. Barthélemy misses the three. Hemphill underneath. Couple of misses on bunnies, but somehow it's Chiqueno who comes away, and he's going to go to the line for two. And if you're the River Lions, missing out on that defensive board to the smallest guy on the floor can't be what you want.
When you talk about identifying, you talk about identifying opposing players right there. Chiqueno identified that Hemphill is 0 of 4 to start this third quarter. From the top of the arc, from 2 feet in, he was going to take that shot and not dump it off.
Hemphill will take a seat. So will Kevin Osawe. So it'll be George Lefebvre out there now with Trent Johnson comprising the front court for Montreal. Chiqueno, Williams, and Barthélemy will round out the 5 for the Alliance. It's Tutu, Chuente, Ahmad. Gorjok Gak has just checked in. And Keontae Kennedy on the floor for Kimball McKenzie's side.
Well, that Alliance 8-man rotation is going to be down to 7 now with Horton with 4 fouls in the game. Got to be happy with the free throws, though. This is a team that has notoriously been poor at the line. You need to turn that around if you hope to make this playoff run.
Ahmad misses the corner 3. Lou Williams from the same spot. He just hit the last one, gets it to go. 2 of 3 from that corner in the last couple of minutes. And a timeout called here by the River Lions, who are down by 5, 7-0 run here for Montreal, and a whole lot of Lou Williams in that.
And immediately, head coach Kimball McKenzie brings his perimeter players together and says, listen, we cannot allow another corner 3 from the one guy that's hit 2 in a row.
So an animated timeout here for Kimball McKenzie as he looks to get things back on track for his side. Montreal, again, a 7-0 run here coming out of the last timeout in the last couple of minutes. Good response for Jermaine Small's team.
When Jermaine Small now here with the Montreal Alliance, you really need buy-in from your teams. I think that's what he struggled in the past years, is getting, especially when it comes to the imports, identifying players that are going to come in and buy into the system and buy into what they're trying to do. And then when you add in the fact that they have battled some critical injuries literally every season. every season they've had a key member go down. We haven't even really talked about it here tonight, but Quincy Guerrier is a massive part of what they've done. You know, this is a guy that they've said he is the face of this franchise, or without him. Then you talk about Guillaume Boucard. I mean, this is a defensive stalwart in the CEBL. This guy is consistently a defensive player of the year candidate. They're without him, and still they're here battling, and they're up 5. So you have to give it to him that he finds the right guys to come in, but in, game out, things can go wrong. These players can just not have an off night, and the margin of error is so slim with this squad that it can go south in a hurry.
And we'll see, of course, high-paced game, a lot of back and forth. When you're down to a short rotation like Montreal is, we'll see if there's any sort of attrition as this one wears into the fourth quarter in target time as well.
And the way he frames up his teams is exactly that. So how do you keep guys bought in when you're only playing 7 or 8 guys? That's a challenge on its own as well.
Here's Muniz Tutu. Tries to find Chuente on the baseline. It's tapped away. Here's Tutu from the corner. Pops in and out. Chiqueño walking it up. Trying to add to this lead. Gets into the paint. And it's going to be a foul and a pair of free throws here for Blondo Chiqueño.
Yeah, that is a tough take.
A reminder that this Eastern Conference game is presented by Lotto Max. Muniz Tutu gets dinged with the foul here. And Chiqueño heads to the line. He's on 8 points in this game to go along with 5 boards and 4 assists. And you mentioned for a team that's had a lot of injuries, what an addition to throw this guy in over the last handful of games. And all of a sudden we have a starting point guard now. Great, awesome.
Playing 36 minutes a game. I mean, where would they be without him? And again, they would have to be going to the open market, right? And they seem to have settled on their imports. So to be able to find a Canadian that could do this as well, and somebody who talked about knowing this system, he played with Montreal before, really just struck gold on finding this player.
As has always been the case in the CEBL, having Canadians who can really truly contribute, like Jordan Chuente, for example, as he knocks down the 3, has always been the differentiator between the good teams and the great ones.
And another guy who is a perfect example of a pathway, a former developmental player, then turning pro. Staying with the same franchise throughout that time, they have developed him and put a lot into him, and he's now rewarding him by becoming a very strong professional basketball player.
Chiqueño driving on Muniz Tutu, and one. Blondo Chiqueño getting going here in the third quarter, up to 12 points.
A deceptive first step for Chiqueño. I mean, we've seen him time and time again get past his defender, just a quick little crossover, nothing too fancy. You know, reminds me a little bit of Alain Louis, right? A little faster than Alain, but again, that same type of mentality. And I think this is a player that we're going to see continue to take massive strides in his overseas season and then back here in the CEBL going forward.
And that's Muniz Tutu. That's no slouch as an on-ball defender either. Here's Tutu. Drives into the lane. Tough off-glass finish for Muniz Tutu.
This is a very nice Canadian battle out here on the floor between these 2 point guards.
Chuente getting the Chiqueño assignment in space. Very good switchable defender, Chuente. 8 on the clock. And the foul there on the moving screen, and it's going to be River Lions ball.
And I think a lot of the times I find with players understanding, especially when it comes to the FIBA rule set screens, not always moving, you are allowed to have your feet shoulder width apart. And you see it often. And I saw it earlier in CBL seasons. Guys having their legs stretched way out to set that screen, then ask, why is that a foul? Well, that's exactly why. And I think a lot of them coming out of the NCAA maybe just don't have that emphasis on the screen call.
And that is going to be off of Borjak Gak as he was rolling down the middle, and it's a turnover.
And that's what I see in the difference between a GAC screen and a Lafille screen.
Right.
Lafille keeps the shoulder width apart, but has a lot more to give on that screen, while a GAC, a player with that type of body, needs to kind of widen the stance in order to set the screen.
Barthélemy, tough, high arcing floater, gets it to go.
Really showing you a little bit of everything right now.
The former Oregon Duck, Keyshawn Barthélemy. And Vinales misses the mid-ranger, but it sticks here as Keontae Kennedy comes away with the loose ball. 2-2.
Not many second chance opportunities for the River Lions tonight.
Schwente pulls it back out, resets, has to get something up. 2 on the clock. No good. Tough possession there.
Absolutely. You like the offensive rebound, but that's not what you want to see the last 6 seconds. The ball sticking in one player's hands for that pull-up.
Chiqueño swung over. Osawe thought about it. And here's Barthélemy driving baseline. Quick first step. And the finish.
Back-to-back career games being put together by Barthélemy here, and that is huge for the Alliance.
Borjak Gak misses the triple. Johnson comes away. River Lions at risk of losing the rope here a little bit. 9-point edge here for Montreal. Their largest lead of the game. Chiqueño. Up top, Lefebvre, catch and shoot 3, short. Tutu comes away with it. Just over a minute left to play here in the third. Vinales. Tutu takes the screen from Gak, pulls up, Cash.
Still not the offense you wanted for the River Lions. It's a lot of half-court offense where they want to get out and push. Tutu bailing him out there with a little mid-range jimmy.
And some hand checking, we'll call it, by Muniz Tutu underneath, trying to prevent Osawe from catching in a favorable spot.
That is the toughest call. Who tied up who first? You need a whistle on the play, and that's why they always say you have to officiate the defense to be able to see who grabbed who first. And neither player is going to say it was them.
You can secure your seats tonight for numerous theme games throughout the season as the River Lions look for the three-peat. Tickets available at riverlions.ca/tickets or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Hemphill has it. Chiqueño. He's got Twente guarding him. Hemphill is just having a tough half. Can't get the turnaround hook shot to go. And here's Khalil Ahmad into the lane. And one big swing there. Khalil Ahmad to the line for the three-point play.
Yeah, that's really tough when you only have 8 guys to deal with, maybe 7 now for Jermaine Small. You see Hemphill struggling on the offensive end, and then just a terrible defensive possession right there. You can't pick up that foul. If you know that you have Khalil Ahmad coming at you, put your arms straight up and just hope he misses, because that is not a good position to be in with that player coming at you.
Seemed like the River Lions were teetering a bit, but they've got it back to 4 now with 24.7 seconds left in the frame.
Final 30 seconds. Nur Hussein seems to be making that part of his MO, coming in there. So much length on him. I remember watching him in the Toronto basketball scene back when he was a 16-year-old. Had an awful lot of eyes on him because he had that exact same frame. Now he's been able to put some muscle on him. Very interested to see what he can do in his next couple of years in his professional career.
The development player here for Niagara as he checks in for this defensive possession. Shot clock and game clock virtually locked. This will be the last shot of the quarter. Chiqueño into the teeth of the defense. Hemphill finally gets one to fall. And they've left a little time here, but it's too long to get the ball back in, and the quarter is going to come to an end as it will be 66-60. Montreal leading going into the fourth quarter, trying to hang on here against the River Lions in a pivotal Eastern Conference clash. Fourth quarter on the way on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Fourth quarter time here at Meridian Centre. It's been a back and forth affair. 66-60, the visiting Montreal Alliance lead the Niagara River Lions. And you can bring your crew and experience game day like never before. Get Alliance tickets by scanning the QR code on the screen or by visiting alliancemontreal.ca/tickets. Jason Tom, fourth quarter getting rolling here. Felt like the River Lions had a bit of a surge there to close the fourth quarter. How do they build on that?
I think really it's defensively and trying to get out into the open floor. Again, that half-court offense isn't where they're going to make their hay. They do have some playmakers in that situation, but I think we've seen this backcourt trying to get on the same page. You want to try to get running on some misses and, hey, even on some makes, inbound quick and get moving.
Vinales down to Twente. He's got Hemphill on him. He'll back him down. And a foul called against Jack Hemphill, and one opportunity for Jordan Twente. Jermaine Small wants that called on the floor, but Twente gets the continuation.
Yeah, the continuation in the FIBA landscape, it's essentially when you're going up, when you've gathered and you're going up, that is, now it depends where the foul was called on that play, on if Jermaine Small has an argument or not, but it is one of the things that I find, especially in FIBA, it differs a little bit from the North American game.
Here's Lou Williams, had himself a hot spurt of shooting in the third quarter. Kevin Osawe sizing up Twente, not an easy thing to do. Picks it up top. Chiqueño has Nur Hussein on him, drives into a couple bodies, but he's fouled by Twente. Blondo Chiqueño is going to head to the free throw line. 13 points for him. So on the 6 boards, 6 assists, an all-encompassing game for the starting point guard for Jermaine Small.
Yeah, I mean, that's just taking it right into the Lions' den right there. And you knew Chiqueño was not going to finish that layup attempt, so it was either draw a foul or there wasn't going to be any bailout, and that was going to be an out of bounds on Montreal.
Yeah, pick your poison on that drive. You get the length of Nur Hussein and the built like a brick of Jordan Twente to contend with.
And he's got quite a wingspan of his own. That's why when you throw those two players out there, that can do a lot of damage. I'm sure you're not going to see him on the floor a bunch here in the fourth quarter, but it is a very nice defensive look to throw at the Alliance here if you're Kimball McKenzie.
Kyle Vinales over to Khalil Ahmad. These guys still seemingly trying to sort out their chemistry as the backcourt duo. Can imagine that'll take some time. Vinales just in his second game with the team. High-low there to Kayo underneath. And bouncy defensive effort by Hemphill, but it comes away into the hands of the River Lions. Kayo misses the corner three. And here come the Alliance. Chiqueño calls off the screen. Dumped down to Osawe. The help is waiting. Chiqueño thought about it, drives, kicks, deflected. Lou Williams Can't get the three to go. Bit of a busted possession there, but they got a good look out of it.
If that pass was in the shooting pocket, I think it would have been good, but an ugly pass by Johnson.
And a nice lay there by Khalil Ahmad to cut it back to 3.
Yeah, this really is Khalil Ahmad's time to shine. This is what he does. That's what he's done his entire career with the River Lions.
And a near turnover there. Trent Johnson comes away with it. Scoop pass underneath to Hemphill. Has that ripped away by Ahmad. Schwente leaking out. Slips trying to go for the ball. Hope everyone's all right there. But it looks like it's going to go back Montreal's way. Seems like Schwente and Chiqueño are both okay, thankfully.
Well, this is what the River Lions want to do. Just a rip away by Ahmad. Quick outlet. Right idea. Maybe a little tough to put that into the passing pocket. Not a big football guy, but maybe would have been a little bit better to hold on to that one because it turns into an immediate turnover the other way.
I'm not a big football guy either, so you could have tricked me by just playing it cool. But now I know you don't know ball. The foul there called on Khalil Ahmad. Baseline inbound, 14 on the shot clock here as Barthélemy will throw it in. Trent Johnson off the catch, drives, and just can't get the finish to go.
Yeah, the Alliance have had a lot of those go out, and wow.
And just a miscue there between Ahmad and Vinales. We mentioned those guys are still getting on the same page. They make us look smart.
Meanwhile, the former River Lions point guard Kimmel McKenzie quietly clapping together, trying to keep everybody positive.
Point guard knows what the team needs.
Exactly.
Hemphill. And he finally splashes a 3.
That wasn't a celebratory yell. That was a frustration yell. And that one didn't want to go down. It did not want to go down for Hemphill.
Ahmad into the lane. And he gets it to go through Hemphill. Tough finish. 4-point game.
Khalil Ahmad has identified who he wants to go at defensively.
Up to 15 points for the Lion King himself. In the corner, Osawe cashes the corner 3. Big triple. Any opportunity for the Montreal Alliance to build on their lead here as target score time beckons has to be taken advantage of.
Osawe had all day and night to pull up for that one.
Ahmad, similar situation, bangs the triple from the wing.
That was a missed defensive possession right there, or assignment, sorry, for the Alliance. That is not the guy who you're supposed to leave open.
Barthélemy running point. Thought about it, kicks it to the corner. Lou Williams has been hot from that spot, but can't get it to go. Vinales the other way. Semi-transition here. Can they get something quick? Ahmad, same spot. Heavy on the triple. And Hemphill scoops it up. Barthélemy gonna run the offense. Jermaine Small calming his team down from the sidelines. Barthélemy into the paint. Tough finish for Keyshawn Barthélemy.
He's really coming into his own right now. Wanted the foul there as well.
The Montreal-born former Oregon Duck. Big game from him. Lufile underneath. And he is fouled. Barthélemy up to 20 points in this game, the high scorer among both teams.
Montreal ballers just, they are absolutely pouring out of that city. You know, I found a lot of them struggle with their shot. I've talked to a couple people in the community out there, and they think historically it's because out there hasn't been a lot of access to gyms.
Right.
So they're learning, they're playing on outdoor courts, which, as you know, in Montreal is probably only maybe 8 months out of the year.
8 months?
And okay.
7. 4.5?
Okay, sure. But that is why when they're coming out of there, we were talking before the game, a guy like Luguentz Dort, like that was the thing that was really hurting him, even in the NCAA as well. He didn't really affect his shooting, didn't get to a good point with it until he was drafted to the NBA.
And looks like another foul called underneath here against Montreal. Yeah, it's going to be on George Lefebvre, so it'll stay here with the River Lions after the loose ball foul underneath.
So because they can't rely on that shooting coming out of Montreal, it's grit, determination, and just getting out there and getting after the rock. And it's just really ingrained in those players coming out of Montreal. That's why I think you see the Alliance keying on so many of those guys.
Viñales cashes the bucket. As our dear friend Jack Armstrong would say, it's the city game. IT Horton playing with 4 fouls, bangs the 3 coming off the screen. That's a big one.
He's been sitting down there on the bench saying, first possession I have coming back in here, I'm putting it up.
7-point edge here for Montreal. Less than a minute now until a stoppage will initiate target score time. Viñales gets the friendly roll, cashes the 3. That's a big one.
Yeah, there's definitely a miss there on the defensive for the Alliance because that is 3 straight wide open threes by the River Lions backcourt.
Barthélemy trying to size up Kennedy. Here's Osawe driving, tries to dump it off to Lefebvre, but good hands there by a handful of River Lions, and Khalil Ahmad goes coast to coast to cut it to 2.
He goes 1-on-3 because he knows we got to push, no more of this half-court game.
Viñales took a spill, was out of position, and IT Horton takes advantage. 4-point game here.
Not a time to try to sell an offensive foul in that possession.
And Viñales is going to be fouled in the backcourt by Barthélemy, as Montreal does not want to have this 4-point edge cut into at all. We have reached target score time. 4-point game. This one would imagine is going to go down to the wire as it's been back and forth all day long. Target score time on the way on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus between Montreal and Niagara.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
You gotta love a Canadian boost.
Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
That anything can happen.
Big players step up in big time.
He is cooking.
Eight lead changes in 4 tie games later, and we've reached target score time with it a 4-point game. Montreal leads 81-77. We're playing to 90, and the River Lions faithful seems to believe here, Jason, that their home side can pull this one out. Khalil Ahmad, by the way, he would be a big reason why if they pull this out. One would imagine to them 20 points in this game after a quiet start, 9 of 14 from the field. If Khalil Ahmad continues to get what he wants against this Montreal defense, there is very, very likely a River Lions win in the offing here.
This is a perfect example of both teams being very happy where they are heading into target score time. Montreal is happy to be up 4. River Lions feel down just 4 heading into target score time. Not a problem whatsoever.
Been a tight 8-man rotation for the short-handed Montreal Alliance in this one. They dealt with some foul trouble to IT Horton, who missed some time as well in the second half of this game. We'll see if the shortened rotation can hang on here to this 4-point edge, playing to 90. Khalil Ahmad, who's had a lot of target score time exploits in this building with the ball in his hands. Sizing up Horton, pull up 3, cash. Khalil Ahmad is red hot.
Always conserving his energy until target score time.
Wando Chiqueno over to Horton. He'll drive. Chuente steps out, forces the turnover. Cayo the other way. Big defensive stop there by Chuente as Viñales now has it. Up to Ahmad. You know what he's looking for. Viñales dumps it down to Cayo. 8 on the clock. He'll back down. Viñales. Little baseline floater. That's cash, and the River Lions lead by 1.
Yeah, running through the post of Cayo. He just makes smart plays and a really nice shifty play by Viñales.
Chiqueno. Asawe. Chiqueno sizing up Cayo. Finds Barthélemy, and he is butter on the catch and shoot mid-range jumper. Up to 22 points. Keyshawn Barthélemy leading the way for Montreal.
He's becoming their offensive weapon right now.
Here's Ahmad. Rises and fires again, and Khalil Ahmad is ice cold whilst being red hot. A timeout called by Montreal, and the River Lions are 5 points away.
Not a timeout.
Not a timeout, excuse me.
But the Alliance will take it.
So yeah, we're sticking with you here.
Death Factors and Khalil Ahmad in target score time.
Unbelievable, man. Big possession here for the Alliance. Williams got the blow by. Couldn't get the 3 to fall. There's Hemphill though on the putback. 85-85. Now Kimball McKenzie calls a timeout for the River Lions as we are coming down to it here, Jason. 5 points away on each side. Khalil Ahmad of 26 points in this one.
Woo. In target score time, it's Niagara going to their playmakers, their backcourt, and on the other side, Montreal really understanding that they've been plus on the offensive glass here tonight. That's exactly what they need to do here in target score time. Outside of Barthélemy, they really don't have anybody who's been consistent enough tonight. You're going to need to crash the glass, but I think the focus here on the timeout for the Alliance is going to be on the defensive end. How do we want to handle this backcourt? Where are we going? What are we doing? And then the next thing is, you're giving up a lot of size down low. So if you end up selling out on that backcourt, you can't leave an Elijah Lafile down low. And the way that the River Lions ended up finishing the game last game on Friday night was a Chuente two-handed slam. And I think that's what you see, is that these defenses are now going to sell out on the backcourt at the perimeter. And obviously, you can't guard everything all the time.
Yeah, with Khalil Ahmad this hot, you'd think maybe we just send 2 to the ball, but you've got Viñales out there now as an extra added option on the offense. And of course, you mentioned what they're getting out of their bigs. This is pretty thrilling stuff here at Meridian Centre as we get down to it. 5 points away are both of these teams from the target score of 90. River Lions will inbound here out of the timeout. It's Ahmad with Keontae Kennedy, Viñales, Chuente, and Cayo. It'll be Barthélemy, Chiqueno, Williams, Hemphill, and Osawe for Montreal as we are nearing a dramatic conclusion here in this pivotal Eastern Conference matchup. Ahmad finds Viñales, rises from the mid-range, leaves it well short, misses everything, but Chuente finds it. He's looking for the foul, doesn't get it, and Montreal with a big stop.
You can't play 2 contacts in this league, and especially in target score time. You have to play through it.
Chiqueno Finds Barthélemy. He dishes it to Hemphill. Beautiful little dish there by Barthélemy, and Montreal's now just 3 points away from the win.
They've really been putting it on a platter for Hemphill here in the fourth quarter.
Viñales. Up to Ahmad. Back to Viñales. 8 on the clock. Surveys. He's got Hemphill on him. Drives to the corner. Caio, 3. Cash!
That is a big shot by Caio. Not the person you'd expect to pull up, but that is what he is. He can be 0 for the entire game and hit it when he needs it.
Montreal can win it with a 3. And Chuente fouls Blondo Triqueño in the backcourt. River Lions just 2 points away from the win. An interesting setup here if you're Montreal. Do you kind of sell out for the 3 to avoid sending the River Lions back down, or do you just got to play it true and get the shot you can get? As we get another look at the Caio 3. Big time bucket for the Canadian and former Montreal Alliance player.
And you hit it right there on the head. It's a Canadian, and it's a guy who knows the league, been back in this league, understands at the end of the day what it takes to win in this league. He is so important to this squad, and again, doesn't always show up on the score sheet, but then sometimes it does in a play just like that. A somewhat broken play. I think, you know, the jumper that Viñales took there and aired it out, not something that you usually see here with the River Lions. You don't usually, you know that's going in the hand of Khalil Ahmad, but that's kind of, again, one of those examples of why it's so important. You need to have more than the one option. I think that was the problem with River Lions when Khalil Ahmad did arrive this season.
Yeah.
So predictable, right? And now, not so much. And then you have guys like a Caio who can step in and hit a big shot like that.
Well, if this is any kind of preview of what's to come in the Eastern Conference down the stretch here, Jason, I don't think you'd say either of these teams have really had their A game in this one, but super competitive. And in this closing stretch, very clear, these teams understand what's on the line when it comes to the standings.
They are battling for every inch down there. Everybody wants to win a championship. Everybody wants to win. And obviously the River Lions have a lot hanging on. You don't want to be a part of the team that has a franchise winning back-to-back championships and then doesn't make the playoffs next year. You don't want your name on that anti-trophy.
What would that anti-trophy look like to you, Jason?
It wouldn't be hanging in the rafters, that's for sure. It wouldn't be a banner.
And that is a 5 count and a turnover for Montreal at the worst possible time. They were a 3-pointer away from winning, but Chiqueño just could not find the entry pass to an option. Timeout, Kimball McKenzie. And if you're Jermaine Small, you got to be head in hands after that.
He's had his head in his hands a few times here tonight. Again, we mentioned undermanned, but I'm just going to give that up to Jordan Chuente. We are perfectly in line. The way Jordan Chuente stared down Blondo Chiqueño leading into that, I mean, I was feeling waves. I'm sure Blondo Chiqueño was not, but you just knew, and you see the face right now on Blondo of what just happened, but you have to give it up to the defense on that. We've talked about the size that Chuente brings and what he did right there. I mean, that is a difference maker in a team and in a game, and that could be the difference maker in this game.
So the River Lions just 2 points away from the victory. It would move them to 7-10 on the season. The Alliance trying to get back to 500. They're 8-9. Again, 1 spot ahead of the River Lions in the Eastern Conference playoff standings. Currently occupying the last playoff spot. Just to set the stage for what is at stake here in the closing moments of this game. Jermaine Small talking through the defense. Blondo Chiqueño is going to have to shake off that 5-count turnover. And the River Lions with a chance to pick up a second huge victory over the course of one weekend. Kimball McKenzie having a quick chat with the officials here. Vinales is new to the league, of course. It's his second game in the CEBL. Maybe getting a little rundown on how the inbounds work here in FIBA.
I don't think they can have a sub because of what just occurred.
Yeah, couldn't check in. So here is Niagara, 2-2 on the floor. Running point. Finds Ahmad on the baseline, and Khalil Ahmad, two-hand slam. That's good, and that's game. The River Lions come back in target score time to pick up a massive victory and move within a half game of the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. And who else but Khalil Ahmad, 28 points as we get a look at the game winner.
Kimball McKenzie, the head coach, just won a game for the Niagara River Lions. After all those years on the floor, winning some games himself, I think as a head coach, we may have just got his first target score time game winner from Kimball McKenzie.
A beautiful dish from Nathan Kayo to the cutting Ahmad. He starts the possession off the ball with Muniz Tutu. They couldn't get Kyle Vinales in, the other ball handler. They figured the one on the floor.
I remember a play here, I believe it was last year, and it was Kimball McKenzie with an alley-oop from just in front of you here to Khalil Ahmad on the alley-oop jam. And it's just interesting to see. I remember after that, then head coach Victor Razzo celebrating by running across the floor. And then right there we see Kimball McKenzie not making the pass, that time drawing up the play, but running across the floor to celebrate after that occurred.
Are you telling me, Jason, that you've seen Khalil Ahmad hit a game winner in a clutch situation in this building before?
On an alley-oop as well. Usually it's from beyond the arc. But I mean, we mentioned coming into this game on Friday, the River Lions finally seemed to have some fun, and they definitely had some fun here, at least in the second half this afternoon.
Let's send it down to our Booster Juice player of the game, and it is, of course, Khalil Ahmad, who's with J.J. Evason.
Thanks, Sean. Khalil, 17 points in the fourth quarter in target time. What about that time of the game makes you really go?
I mean, it's like the end of the shot. The end of the game is 21. You know, you got to lock in, get buckets, get stops, and that's what we did.
Phil Jordan Chuente, he does a lot for this team that doesn't show up on the box score. You know, talk to me about the importance of a guy like that when you're getting wins the way you're getting wins.
I mean, he does so much for us. Off the bench, you know, brings the spark, brings the energy, and you can see how it does. It affects us a lot. You know, it brings a lot for us, and as long as he's going, I feel like we'll be good.
We got a 3-game week coming up. Talk to me about the importance of this stretch of basketball to get into playoff position.
Very big. I mean, we started at the beginning of the season off kind of rocky, you know, so now we got to make up for all that lost ground. And if we keep playing like this, I feel like we'll be in the right spot.
Appreciate the time. Enjoy the week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, on the other side, Sean and Jason put a bow on this beautiful Sunday matchup. The River Lions win their second in a row. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CDC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
RedTag.ca.
Welcome back inside Meridian Centre. The River Lions come away 90-87 victors over the Montreal Alliance following today's CEBL triple header. The next game across the CEBL is Tuesday afternoon when the Niagara River Lions take on the Brampton Honey Badgers on Camp Day. Tip-off from the CAA Centre in Brampton at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And another game with very serious playoff implications in the East. And Jason, if the River Lions were hoping Friday's win over Scarborough was going to be something that could kickstart a playoff push, it seems as though things are very much trending in that direction with this victory here today as well.
Because it was a different victory.
Yes.
I mean, they really had to grind this one out. They didn't have a lot going for them. And then again, down the stretch, it's Khalil Ahmad doing Khalil Ahmad things. And again, I think this is a team that is just understanding what each of them have to do. We mentioned Jordan Chuente coming through with a very strong defensive presence down the stretch. We see them sharing the ball. Nathan Kayo coming off that 0-for game, which almost never happens in his career. And he was big here tonight as well, or this afternoon as well. I think it was a full team effort. Everybody coming out of that game for the River Lions can feel like they contributed in a positive way.
Montreal surely will be disappointed with the result here. They fall to 8-10, just a half game up on the final playoff spot over Niagara here, but they were playing shorthanded, and there's some positive takeaways for them here too.
Absolutely. I think they're identifying who they can really rely on. Keyshawn Barthélemy now coming off back-to-back career games. This is a guy who they're going to want to build with, and they were without a guy who they've built a franchise around in Quincy Guerrier, and of course a defensive stalwart as Guillaume Boucard. So, I mean, the fact that they battled this hard without those guys on their squad tonight, they have to take some positivity away from this.
That's going to do it from Meridian Centre's Sean Woodley, speaking for Jason Tom and JJ Evison. Thanks so much for being here with us. Hope you enjoy the rest of your CEBL triple header Sunday.
Knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way. With your head top down for some action.